Hi there, I'd just like to talk a little bit about how to repair Aerothane finish on the polyfiber process. Here we have an elevator that's got a little bit of a hole damage. It was actually just a slit to begin with. What we did was we cut out the area that was damaged, make it sort of oblong, and the first thing we do with Aerothane, since it is a polyurethane, we have to cut through that down to the previous coats like poly spray and poly brush. So the first thing we're going to do here is we're going to sand this down around the edges to make a area where we can apply the patch. Now to speed this up a little bit, I've switched to a 220 grit paper and I'm using it wet, and this will clean the sandpaper as we're going along, and it will carve through the white poly Aerothane a whole lot easier and quicker. So that just sort of speeds it up a little bit. We'll clean an area back to the silver and the pink of about twice the size of the hole or the damage that we're working in. So once we have it sanded out, the area that we want to apply the patch, we'll take the reducer, R6575, Polyfiber's reducer product, and we'll wipe the other coatings off so that we can apply the patch right to bare fabric. This will take the silver off, and it'll take most of the pink off. We want to leave a little bit on there just for a transition. One area you want to be very careful of is when you're working in right in this area here, because there's a tube going through here, this is a solid area. So when you're sanding, you want to be careful not to cut through the weave of the fabric right in that area. Anytime there's a rib or some other structure that's going to be inside here, any place you sand, it's going to cut through with the sandpaper a lot easier. Now we'll take a piece of 2-inch tape. This is just simply the Polyfiber 2-inch tape, and I've used a plastic cup to draw around a circle, and we're going to cut that out with pink shears to apply our patch. Okay, now that we're all prepared on the surface, it's sanded down, so we're through all the top coatings and we wiped down through to almost bare fabric. We're going to take a little Polytack, and I use it in a small can with a small brush, and we're going to apply Polytack into the area where we want to apply the patch material. Here we have patch material, and we'll center it over top of the repair, and we'll push the fabric down into the wet bed of Polytack so that it goes up and saturates through the weave, giving us good adhesion of that patch onto the surface over the hole, and our damage is repaired. Subsequent to this, we will build up the poly brush coats on here. We will put poly spray back on here. It could actually be done with a brush. Give several coats of poly spray on here with a brush, and we can wet sand that out to make it nice and smooth before we apply our top coat back again. And that's how you would do a repair to polyfiber fabric. Thank you for watching.